All right, man. Shalom, shalom. Spare me 1 second. All right, stuff. Cool. Shalom, shalom. Coming to you in the name of Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakah Kodash, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Kahalal Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakah Kodash, Yad. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who taught us this truth. And salutations unto the Arkham that continue to push the word in truth and in sincerity. This evening, we're going to be doing a little bit of a special. It's been a long time since I've done a video in this format on the laptop, but I came across an article today dealing with the brewing recession in the UK, and I said to myself, I said to myself, really, the Spirit put it within me to kind of jump on the topic and get into it, man. So I've got a few articles and things of that nature, which I want to get into, and then Lord willing, it's edifying from there, man. Shalom to all the brothers on the comment board, man. Yahabashim Shai, Barakatham. So without further ado, what I'm gonna do is start, of course, with a scripture, and I'm gonna start in the book of Revelation, chapter 19. And I'm gonna start from verse 10, and it says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant." So this is the Apostle John, who was preserved in life, even in old age, for one purpose. Most of the apostles had been killed, died and passed on. But John, the beloved, was kept alive. He was sent to the salt mines, I believe it was the Isle of Patmos, and he was kept alive for the purpose of receiving the revelation of Yahweh Shai, which is what we have where we have the book of Revelation in scriptures. Okay. So it says, I read it again in Revelation chapter 19, verse 10, and it says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy." Okay, and this is why we do lessons of this nature, because the testimony and the spirit of our Lord Yahweh Shai indeed is the spirit of prophecy. Okay, now we're gonna take it all the way to the basics and get into words, because the point of these lessons that we do is to edify, which means to build, man. So you got to build on all levels, man. You just don't do the roof and the finishing touches. You got to first build a foundation, man. So with that being said, we always build from the bottom up, from the basics up, man. Salat, man. Yeah, I want to get into the prophecy here. G4394. And it says, a discourse emanating from divine inspiration and declaring the purpose of the Most High, um, whether by reproving or admonishing the wicked, or comforting the afflicted, or revealing things hidden, especially by foretelling future events. Okay, so indeed the prophecies admonish the wicked, man. Sternly warn um, and advise of the imminent future of the wicked, predominantly which is Esau, Edom. Okay, which is according to Bible prophecy, man. So, like, excuse that. Some work stuff coming up there. Okay, but and it says, or comforting the afflicted. Yeah, prophecy comforts the afflicted, man. All right, you know, prophecy comforts the afflicted. You know, doesn't the scripture says to all that mourn in Zion? Okay, because the prophecies are in favor of Israel. Okay, namely the elect of Israel. Okay, so future events, the foretelling of what's to come in the future, what's to happen in the future, um, really comforts the elect, man. Although some of it is hard, although some of it is testing and trying, you know, case in point, the hour of temptation. All right, inevitably and ultimately, the elect, which we hope to be a part of, is comforted in prophecy, man. All right, because prophecy um culminates, or prophecy ends, prophecy concludes, I should say, in the favor of Israel, starting with the elect. So it says, or the revealing of things hidden, especially by foretelling future events. So the spirit of Yahweh Shai encompasses what? The inspiration and declaring the purposes of the Most High. That's the spirit of Yahweh Shai. Okay. Reproving and admonishing the wicked, all right, also is a part of the spirit of the Lord. Comforting the afflicted, okay, is definitely a part of the spirit of Yahweh Shai, the revealing of things hidden. Okay, so this is why we get into such topics, man. Prophecy, because at the end of the day, this is the spirit of Yahweh Shai. Okay, and did not the Lord say, I will be in you and you in me? Okay, so if the Lord is in us, all right, then you're going to be compelled to do what? You're going to be compelled to prophesy. Okay, there's no if, buts, or maybes. You're going to be compelled to prophesy, right? So, with that being said, let's get into it, man. So, um, dealing with, state of affairs, dealing with economics, we have to first grasp what the concept of economics actually is. Um, and as inspired and taught by our teachers, we've been taught to get into words, the etymology of word, which is basically the compilation, or if you want to get into the breakdown of words, man. Okay, so the word economics, all right, um it says here, an art of managing a household, all right, and it gives the French, which I'm not gonna, it renders the French um pronunciation, which I'm not gonna attempt, embarrass myself. French is not my forte. All right, it says pertaining to management of a household. Okay, and it says or domestic economy, from the Greek oikonomy, oikonomikos. Okay, practice in the management of a household or family. Okay, all right. Also, the name of a treatise by Xenophon on the duties of domestic life. All right, oikonomia, household management. So this is where we get the English word economics from, the Greek oikonomia, which means household management. Now, the overall household management is led by who? What we would know as government. All right, but a little bit deeper than that, it is the financial ruling class of the elite of Esau, Edom. Okay, they are the real uh, household managers of the affairs of what goes on. Then they've got their lower elite, which are your politicians, your prime ministers, your presidents, your cabinet, your members of parliament, on down. Okay. But all these together constitute as household managers, managers of what? The affairs of all things in house, aka all things across um, the world economy, individual economies within countries, but overall the world economy. So this is the concept of economics. When you talk about economics, all you're talking about is regulating things, the control of resources, people, the control of the allocation of time, what people do, what people don't do, where people can go, what people can buy, what people can purchase or buy and purchase, same thing, what people can't buy or purchase, how things are spent, to who does the resources go and where does it come from. All these things constitute as what? Oikonomia, or in English we would say economics, which is household management. Okay. Now, specifically in this lesson, we're dealing with the decline of the UK economy. Yeah. So, what the UK is just now seeing come to fruition, which has been boiling up for years before, I dare say, not even recovered from the prior recession. But what the UK is experiencing is another entering into another recession. So again, definitions and terminology we're going to get into. What exactly is a recession? Okay, because you got these terms getting thrown across over the news sources: recession, and cutbacks, and cuts, and inflation, and interest rates. And a lot of the time, people don't know what's going on, because it's not for them to know what's going on. It's just a matter of, you ain't gonna have as much money as you used to have, mate. Okay, things ain't gonna be as easily accessible as they used to be, buddy. Okay, but we're gonna get into it. So briefly, the definition of a recession. Yeah. And the reason why we're getting into this is because the scriptures say, "Be not ignorant in any matter, small or great." Okay, so if the spirit, as we read in Revelation 19, if the spirit of Yahushua, the spirit of prophecy, then we're going to have to understand certain concepts, okay, and not be ignorant to those concepts, because then we wouldn't be able to fully understand the prophecy. This is why we're getting into this. It's not an economics class. At the end of the day, yeah, that was great information. No, it all leads and feeds into the prophecy, okay? So what is a recession? It says a recession is a macroeconomic term. So in economics, you've got two sides to it. Or two broad sides to it anyhow. You've got macroeconomics, which deals with the wider look at the house. Remember, we said economics is household management. So macroeconomics deals with the wider, more overall look at the affairs of the house, the affairs of the economy. And then you've got microeconomics, which looks at a more in-depth, from a more in-depth perspective of the household management or the economy. So it gets into the more nitty-gritty side of things. Okay. So it says a recession is a macro. So macro meaning what it affects not just one part of the economy, but it affects the overall economy. So recession is a macroeconomic term that refers to a significant decline in general economic activity in a designated region. So dealing with a country. It has been typically recognized as 2 consecutive quarters of economic decline, as reflected by GDP, which is the gross domestic product, in conjunction with monthly indicators such as a rise in unemployment. Okay, so let's get into that real quick. Read that bit again. It has been typically recognized as 2 consecutive quarters. So when you have 2 quarters back to back where there's a decline in productivity, there's a decline in the economy, because the general idea is growth, okay, which is quite cliche for a man of destruction. But the general idea of economics, or the positive steps forward for an economy of a country, is that the economy grows. If the economy is not growing, then at best it's breaking even, but that rarely happens. If the economy is not growing, what does it mean in general? It's declining, it's shrinking, it's getting smaller, which essentially is not good, because everything just becomes 10 times harder. Okay. Or specifically to to the figure of decline, which is usually a percentage, like 1%, 2%. And these numbers ain't big. As I always say, with economics, you're not going to deal with big numbers where it comes to percentages. But don't be fooled. It's only 1%. It's only 0.5%. No, 0.5% and 1% are ridiculously huge numbers in economics. Because when you translate that to the food on the shelf, when you translate that to the money in the bank, yeah, trust me, that 0.5%, that 1% decline, or that 1% increase, or that 1.5% increase in inflation, in interest rates, yeah, you're going to feel it. Okay, so these small numbers have massive, massive, huge effects. Okay, so 2 consecutive back-to-back quarters of an economic decline. So essentially, the GDP, I'm going to break down every single term. I'll just give you an overview. So the GDP basically means the output of the workforce of a country. So everybody that's employed is considered a part of the workforce. Everybody that is not employed but is actively looking for a job is also considered part of the workforce. Okay. So it says, as reflected by GDP in conjunction with monthly indicators such as a rise in unemployment. All right. And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing a rise in unemployment. Now, one of the main factors for unemployment, especially in the UK and America, is AI, or the integration of AI into human interaction. Case in point, a couple of months ago, there was an article on, I say article, it was an article, but it was also a news report section on the BBC, where instead of patients seeing clinicians and doctors and GPs, all in their respective fields, which is pretty much all the same thing, they were seeing robots. Imagine, people were going into doctor surgeries and getting spoken to, or should I say spoken at, by a thing, yeah, by plastic which has wires and little chips inside of it. Yeah, you are diagnosed with spinal injury. Like, it's crazy. Imagine going doctors and getting spoken to by a computer that moves and somewhat looks like what it would appear to be a human. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, but the increase and integration of AI into human interaction is a huge, huge, huge factor into unemployment, because it replaces people. Now companies are thinking of resources, companies are thinking of money. Yeah, I don't have to pay a robot. All I've got to do is get serviced every 3 years, make sure the thing is still working properly. I ain't got to think about lunch breaks for a robot. I ain't got to think about satisfaction and mental conditions at the job for a robot. Right? Turn it on, does the job, turn it off. Okay. So whilst people are, or companies are thinking of ways of saving money, and they're going to glamorize it like this is the future. Okay, the future's killing the economy. Okay, it's crazy, man. So the rise in unemployment, which is drastically increased in the UK, it says, however, the National Bureau of Economic Research, which officially declares recession, says the 2 consecutive quarters of decline in real GDP are not how it is defined anymore. The NBER defines a recession as a significant decline in economic activity spread across the economy lasting more than a few months. So now, where it was 2 full quarters, now it's just consecutive months. Like, yeah, we can see, we don't even have to let it last the full quarters. Now we can just see that it's going downhill. Okay. The NBER defines a recession as a significant decline in economic activity spread across the economy lasting more than a few months, normally visible in real GDP, real income, employment, industrial production, and wholesale retail sales. So that's the general idea and understanding. I mean, like I said, we can get way more into the factors, the microeconomic factors of or influences of recession. But as I said, this is not an economics class. It's just to get the grasp, the understanding of what it is. So now we understand what a recession is. Yeah, continued shrinking of an economy, which means less GDP output by the workforce and companies. Yeah, right. So if that's it, this is an article. This is actually the first article I saw about it today, and this is from the ITV, a broadcasting um, a broadcasting company out here in the UK, and it's mad that this article was actually in 2020. Like I said, these things are brewing for years and years before. So even before 2020, like 014, like just coming out of the other recession a couple of years before, it's just been a continual decline. But we haven't seen it as yet, because in economics things takes time. Things take time. Yeah, maturing of situations, good and bad, takes time. Just like in a household, yeah, a man and a woman come together and have children. Yeah, it takes 10 years for the child to be 10. You don't just have a baby and then tomorrow the child's 19. Everything in a household takes time to mature, both good and bad. So with household management in economics, it takes time to mature, both good and bad. But the prophecies have it that for this place is bad. So even though it's happening, it's happening slowly over years and years and years. But now, once again, we're seeing it raise its ugly head, which really for Israel is a beautiful case, man, to see this place go down in a recession. So it says UK enters largest recession on record after, I'm not going to say that word, the CV crisis shrinks the economy. Okay, and that was one of the major points of the of the um of the CV19, the CV19. It was to shrink the economy. Okay. Anyways, it says the UK has officially entered into recession after the CV crisis caused the economy to contract by a record 20.4% between April and June. And as I said previously, in economics, you deal with small percentages. 0.5, massive, massive, massive effect in real life. 1.5%, massive effect. 2% in any direction, up or down, is ridiculously huge in real life figures. Because what we have to understand is percentages are just percentages. How does that relate, or how does that feed into real time figures? How does that feed into what you're getting paid? How does that feed into tax reductions? Yeah, these percentages are huge, absolutely huge. So when you see numbers like 20.4%, that is ridiculous. You're looking at the plane crashing, like nose diving into the sea. Like, it's ridiculous figures, man. It is the largest recession on record. Yeah, you're damn right, because that's never been seen in history, man. The Office of National Statistics said on the first time uh, and the first time a recession has been declared in the UK since the financial crash of 2008. The Chancellor Rishi Sunak admitted hard times are now here, as the record-breaking contraction in the second quarter of April, May, June follows a 2.24 in the previous 3 months. All right, it's going to go on to say what a recession is again. All right, let's go to this line here. But monthly figures showed the economy bounced back 8.7% in June, following upwardly revised growth of 2.4% in May as lockdown restrictions eased. Now, that's another thing in economics. There's a term called noise. Yeah, economic noise is basically fluctuations, up and down, up and down, up and down. In any sort of economic graph, yeah, you're always gonna see up and down, up and down, up and down. You can't look at a short view. You've got to look at a view over months. Those up and downs, up and downs, up and downs, aka that noise, that economic noise, is always going to have an overall trend. Those up and downs will overall have a trend of going up, or either have a trend of going down. So this increase of 8.7% productivity in June, June is what couple of days. It's a month, yeah. So June, July, yeah, it could go down straight after that. So small gains always, in this case, according to prophecy, as we know, is always going to result in overall downfalls, man, overall declines. Okay. This is why people, when they watch this scripture says, watch as well as pray, man. That's why we got to study, because you can look at economic shows like Bloomberg and things of that nature, and all these different shows, which we do watch. And Sometimes it could look like things are going well. Yeah, but on what time scale? A long time scale? More than likely, I'm almost certain 100% of the time it's over a short period. It's never over a long period. Yeah. And this just gets into business owners and grants and things of that nature. All right. It's not great for people starting their careers to be sat at home doing everything on Zoom. You're damn right. Shit is depressing. But guess what? This also affects one of the largest sectors of the economy, which is the transport sector, especially in London. TfL suffering, man. Okay, it's not good for the economy, and having people coming back and forth to work has a knock-off effect, especially in cities. See, there you go. All right, and it's kind of spiritual that it says that, because in the scripture it speaks about traffic, which is talking about their business. Yeah, he said, when we were talking about this a few months ago, I said hard times are coming. And this geezer here, let me tell you something about this guy. Yeah, Rishi Sunak, big time waste man, but such are all of his colleagues, man. He's a puppet, man. All right, this guy comes out there with was it the red briefcase, holding it up, all stiff and stuff, taking photos for the paparazzi. Listen, the financial plans ain't regulated by my man. Yeah, the financial plans have already been set, all right, by the elite. He's just a puppet on the financial side, yeah, to present it, but he ain't controlling jack shit where it concerns economics, man. Okay. With the furlough scheme set to finish, which it did in October, the chancellor said it's not sustainable indefinitely, but that is not, but that it's not that there's no support. All right. Now that just gets into other stuff. Now, what I wanted to speak about is because in the article it mentioned unemployment. Yeah. This is Ecclesiastes 12, and I'm gonna start from verse 3, and it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Right now, some key words there. It says, in the day. We are in that day. Yeah, when the keepers of the what? Of the house. We went through the meaning of the word economics. Yeah, it is household management. Yeah, manager, keeper. Yeah, same thing. Okay, so the keepers of the house are the ruling banking elite. Okay, and then the lesser elite, which are their puppets. All right, the government officials, man. Right. Okay. And it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Why are they trembling? Yeah, because they know that their time is short. Okay. This is the importance of the highways and the byways and the videos, brothers, man. You see how it all links in, because when we go out there, a vibration is pushed, which is slowly shattering this man's foundations. Not because of us, but because of the spirit and the power of the word of the Lord, man. Every time we go out there, this man's system is shattering bit by bit, brick by brick, man, until Yahushua comes and finishes it off, man. Okay, right? So the keepers of the house are trembling, man, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. What is that? That's your workforce. As I said, the workforce constitutes as those who are employed, those who are not employed but are looking for employment. Okay, it's few. People ain't getting jobs. All right, people are now. It's only now people are realizing university is bullshit, man. Okay, you're going to study. Right, you leave home, go and study, and then study some grand posh ass course, and you come and work in McDonald's or KFC or Burger King. You know, all right. Job, I got a degree, so what? I've got a master's, so what? Yeah, there's no jobs for you, brethren. There's nothing there. All right, because they are few jobs, fewer jobs, less employment. Okay, and those that look out of the window shall be darkened, man, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. All right, what's that? The business, man. Businesses are shutting down. The other day, I was in a bank trying to sort some stuff out, and I was speaking to the woman that was dealing with me, Jake woman, kind of young, and like you get talking with people, it's interesting to see where the minds of these people are at, you know, and she was saying to me a couple of weeks ago, she was saying to me, yeah, um, you know, I like working here, but it's not secure because they're shutting down branches of banks. All the bank branches are getting shut down. It's not secure. Everything's going online, telebanking, online banking, apps. It's just very soon. There's not going to be need for a physical bank on the high street. Okay, you're seeing so many businesses, so many companies are shutting down. Um, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Shutting down locations, man. I'm not saying how I want to say it. Like for example, you got like Debenhams, these shops, these retailers, they'll be shutting down like 500 branches. Yeah, banks be doing that lately, like 250 branches just axed off the high street. Yeah, the doors shall be shut in the streets, man. Okay, when the sound of the grinding is low. What's grinding? Grinding is work. Grinding is business. Business ain't doing good right now, man. Okay, business isn't. Excuse me. Business is not doing good. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay, you know, all the nonsense, all the flattery. Excuse me. All the mirth, all the bullshit. It's gonna cease because people are gonna realize we're fucked. Yeah, when you can't put bread on and water on the table for your children, you're fucked. When you can't pay the light bill or the gas bill and you ain't got hot water coming through your taps, yeah, people ain't used to that because they've had boilers all their lives. Yeah, people gonna realize there ain't no time for games, ain't no time for gimmicks. Man, fuck that. I'm trying to put some food in my belly, man. Okay. So all that mimicking, mockery, folly is gonna go right in the bin. All right. As this economy continually declines, the bullshit is going in the bin. Yeah. Facts. It's not even a debate, it's straight facts. Now, this is the 2008 recession, 10 years on, right? So that brought us to 2018, which is only 4 years ago. So we're still feeling the brunt or the effect, the aftermath of the 2008 recession. And here we are walking into another one. Yeah. Calamity upon calamity, man. All right. I want to get straight to the point. Um, So GDP took 5 years to recover. So essentially, what does that mean? It took 5 years. So that would bring us to 2008 plus 5 is what, 2013. It took until 2013 for the UK to get back to putting out what it previously was prior um, the 2008 recession. Yeah. So you can see here on the graph from 2008, the 10-year spectrum to 2018. Yeah, it was a very slow. The sharper the line or the curve in economics, this would be called a curve. Yeah, the sharper the curve, the quicker the See, I'm getting a call. Yeah, you can't call me right now. Sorry, darling. So like, man. Yeah, the sharper the curve, the greater the greater or the quicker and the more violent the more, yeah, violent is the word, violent and sudden the increase. But the flatter the curve, the more painful, slower and longer it took. It got there, but it was painful. Okay, so since 2008 up until 4 years ago, it's been a painful journey for the UK to even get anywhere close to the amount they used to put out. Okay, but here we are again, walking into another recession, which means that in 2022, as I said, household management, things in the house don't happen. Things in the house don't happen just like that. Yeah, things in the house don't happen just like that. They have to mature. It takes time. So if we're now in 2022 with a recession brewing right now, what does that mean? That it started from around 2018, 2017. So the real question is, which is what they will never tell you on BBC, ITV, and any of these outlets. Yeah, they will never tell you this. And the question is this: did we ever leave a recession? If we just so-called recovered in 2018 and we're back in one in 2022, which means that it was brewing from the end of this one, did we ever really leave a recession? Did things ever really get better? See the curve, it shows that it's going up, but it's been a painful drag. What we're really experiencing is zero, this orange line. Okay. Now you talk to any economist, economics is my thing. You talk to any economist, they will tell you in all reality, the blue line is the dream. It's the dream, yeah, of what they want you to believe. Yeah, it was a struggle. No, no, no. We've been here on this. As you see the cursor, the zero line, the equilibrium from minus to positive. We've been here, and now it's going downwards. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Okay, now when you go further down, see here's a good example of noise. Yeah, it shows you what noise is: up and down fluctuations. But there's no need to get into that. Gets into more graphs and things. That's it on that. Now, when you watch these articles and these news, read these articles and these news things, right? They speak positively of a recovery. It's not happening, man. It's not happening. Years down the line, it's not happening. This is Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Okay, so Esau, his projections, his financial and economic projections are going to show that it's fine, we're entering into a recession, but give it till 2035 or 2040, we'll be fully out of it again. You ain't got that time. Yeah, your inward thought is that your house is going to go that long, but it's proven that you are not a fit keeper. Esau is not a fit economist. Israel is the elect. Okay, you are not a fit keeper. Was that not the commandment in Genesis to dress and keep the garden? All right. We are the true economists. We are the true leaders. We are the true keepers of planet Earth, man. Okay. How the hell can you think you're going to last forever when you've proven to not be a true and good economist? You are not a true or good keeper of a house. You are a bad and destructive keeper of a house. Okay. And thus your time is ended because it was never for you to rule for eternity. Rulership was given to you for a period of time. As quick as that's a whole nother lesson, as quick as you shut up into leadership, the faster you will fall. And that is prophecy, man. Okay. Now, leading on from that, the generalization of what things are and how it affects. Let's talk about people. Yeah. How many people are in poverty in the UK? As many as 6 million people in the UK could be officially classed as living in poverty by 2023. That's a couple of months away. Up to 14.5 million people in poverty before the pandemic. The government estimates when taking houses costs into account that 1 in every 4 or 5 people. However, the income falls projected at 6% For the poorest quarter of households, the latest analysis by Resolution Foundation predicts that 1.3 million more people will be plunged into absolute poverty. absolute poverty by 2023. That is next year. We're talking about the UK, man. UK is done out here, man, including the 700,000 who fell into poverty during the pandemic. That's about 16.5 million people. So by 2023, which is a couple of months away, we're looking at 16.5 million people, yeah, in economic poverty. It's crazy, man. And for you brothers that watch me, I say watch me, watch the videos I do. Lord willing, they're edifying on my channel here. Great Millstone or GMS, Exalt the Most High. You probably realize that like I've got a different spirit when it comes to bringing out economics. A little bit more goofy, you know, talking a little bit more animated or excited. Yeah, because I'm passionate about economics, man. We as a people, we're passionate about economics. Economics makes me happy, man. You know, because as we get into it, we are the household rulers, man. It's our job, it's our duty, it's innate, it's within us. So whenever I talk about economics, I get excited, man, especially in the light of the decline of this man's kingdom. You know, it's beautiful stuff, man. That's, bro, let me read that again, man. All right, including the 700,000 who fell into poverty during the pandemic over the 2 and a bit years. That's around 16.5 million people in absolute poverty in the UK. It is crazy, man. The UK is done. Okay, the UK is done, right? Last paragraph on this section called What Causes Poverty. With rapidly rising inflation, families on universal credit will be even worse off. Payments are rising at just half the rate of inflation. Damn. So wow, man. So as much as you're getting universal credit payments are coming out, there's an extra 50% inflation on top of that. So at the end of the day, are you really increasing for those who are on universal credit? I don't think so, because it evens out. As much as you get, more is taken. It's crazy. Interest rates and inflation is a bitch, man. Anyways, payments are rising at just half the rate of inflation, which is set to rise even further this year. The Office for Budget Responsibility predicts inflation will peak at 8.7% in 2022. Yeah. What is in work poverty? Low pay, soaring living costs. Yeah, that's the majority of people, man. If you're not a part of the elite, yeah, myself included, yeah, all of us, we are in work poverty. You're working, but you're just about surviving. You're not able to save anything. Everything's done out here, man. Okay. I was speaking with the brother earlier, man. I want to get the hell out of this London, if possible. Because England's fucked, but man, London, crazy. Like London's the hottest part of the fire for the UK, right? Low pay, soaring living costs, a weak social security system, and costly childcare can all trap people in poverty despite being in work. All right, crazy. Wow. The planned 6.6% increase in national minimum wage will do little to support families through the cost of living crisis. Wow. With typical working age of households set to face 4% drop in real-term income from April. April is the reset of the financial year. We've just come out of April. Yeah. So from here on out, it gets worse, man. It gets worse. Right. And all of this, yeah, is because you've got the wrong economists in the seat. You got the wrong household managers in the seat here, because they ain't got the breath. They ain't got they ain't got the laws, man. All right, they do the complete contrary, the complete opposite. Yeah, children of Satan, Hashatan, the adversary, one who goes against the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon. Satan is Esau, man. Okay, his Deuteronomy 4:6. It says, "Keep therefore and do them, For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who have the Most High so nigh unto them? And the Lord Yahweh our power in all is in all things that we call upon him for. Okay. Now the law deals with economics, man. The law deals with money. The law deals with land. Yeah. The law deals with resources. The law deals with people. The law deals with pensions. The law deals with daily payments or wages. All right. Okay. The law deals with it all. But why isn't it working? Because Esau's doing his own thing. Esau's doing his own thing, and it shows. Or economics, he is the wrong man in the seat of rulership. This is why the world is fucked. And this is why the UK is feeling it first. Because the financial system, power hedge, you would say, is Canary Wharf, East London, UK, London, UK, Britain. But what was born out of Britain, the American financial system and economy. So it all really, when you really get into it, it all goes back to a small place called East London, Canary Wharf. Yeah, the financial hub of the world. Okay. Now you got people, China, yeah. Their economies are doing good, but any real economist will tell you the real financial hub of the world is Canary Wharf, East London. Okay. And there's a scripture on that, but we'll get to that in due time. Okay. Psalms 37. Verse 28. For the Lord Yahweh loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. And we're seeing the seed of the wicked being cut off through his systems, man. Okay. Geopolitics, wars and rumors of wars, which is a completely different, lesson, kind of focusing on the financial side of things, specifically for the UK. And he says, the righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. Now, we do know that even though America was born out of England and America is Babylon, spiritual Babylon, the UK isn't. The UK, Europe, is Europe, specifically Britain, is the unclean frog. Okay, and when you get into the word Britain and everything, it goes into covenant man. Okay, now you got Russia talking about, one missile would sink the island of the UK, which you're damn right. But even though it's going to get nuked, it's not going to get total. It's going to get inhabited again in the earth made new. Okay, and as with the rest of the world, the righteous are going to rule over it. Okay. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. The law of his power is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watcheth the righteous and seeketh to slay him. The Lord will not leave him in his hand, nor condemn him when he is judged. Wait on the Lord and keep his way. Esau can't do that because he wasn't of the covenant. So he was never going to keep the way of the Lord. And he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. So when the wicked are cut off, yes, even through his financial systems, all right, we're going to see the power of the Lord magnified in Israel, starting with the elect. And specifically homing in on this topic, yeah, the economy of the universe, of planet Earth, in the earth made new, the earth refreshed, is going to be perfect. All right. Those ruling elites, those wicked economists, the banking elite families, they're going to be the first into change, and they're going to see how an economy is meant to be ran smoothly and ran properly. Okay, and they're going to be embarrassed and they're going to be ashamed. Okay. Now this, I'm bringing this out because it made me chuckle. It made me laugh a little bit. It says, how does the Russian invasion of Ukraine affect the UK economy? Now it says, where does the UK get its energy from? The UK does not have significant direct trade links with either Russia or Ukraine, so our economy's most direct exposure to Russian invasion of Ukraine is via impact on the global price of energy. Okay, and that's the thing with these Brits, man. These Edomites over here, they're very, very proud. France, Spain, Italy, Portugal, you know, it can happen to all of these places except from the UK. Well, look what's happening now. Okay, you know, look what's happening now. As a side effect of what's going on, plus UK is making some wrong moves. They're not even on good terms with Russia like that. Okay, so as a third party effect, it has already happened. You've seen what? You've seen a 54% increase, a 54% increase in energy bills, man. Okay, 54% is a ridiculously high number. As I've said before at the start of the lesson, and I'll say again, yeah, in economics, you're used to numbers like 0.25%, 0.5%, 1% at max. When you start seeing 1.5 and 2%, you're looking at some in real time, real like money, you're seeing some big changes. So 54% is what an increase, price cap to increase by £693 from April. We've just finished April, we're now in May, the beginning of the new financial year in this man's system. Yeah, record increase in global gas prices sees energy price cap rise 54%. People can't afford it, man. People can't afford it. Yeah, lights lock off, man. Hot water done. Okay, you know, it's crazy, man. You got people buy. I know people that have actually buying pan and coal to generate heat because they can't afford it. Yeah, 54% rise. Ofgem knows this will be extremely worrying for many people. Customers struggling to pay their energy bills should contact their suppliers to access help available. The energy price cap will increase from the 1st of April for approximately 22 million customers. Those on default tariffs paying by direct debit will see an increase of £693 for stop calling me, man. Call you back, bro. See an increase. I say bro, but that's not a brother in the truth. Okay. It's my demon, man. We'll see an increase of 693, just in case I'm throwing that out there. You know, we don't do with each other like that. You know, if a brother's calling, I'm answering the phone. You know, anyone else, you can wait. We will see an increase of £693 from 1,277 to 1,971. Hey, man, long day. Just call it 2K per year. All right. Prepayment customers will see an increase of 708 from 1,309 to £2,017. Crazy, man. There's nobody in the U. There's nobody, yeah, that can afford that, man. Come on, man. Stop being silly, man. Stop being silly, man. Stop being silly. People can't even buy food out here. You're talking about light and bill, like light and gas costing all 2K and that. People ain't. Come on, man. It's crazy, man. Yeah. And the next thing is the food, what the scriptures talk about that. This is Isaiah 49 and 25. But thus saith the Lord, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. For I will contend with him that contendeth with thee, and I will see what I'm saying, man. See what I'm saying. And I will save thy children, and I will feed them that oppress thee with their own flesh, and they shall be drunken with their own blood, as with sweet wine. And all flesh shall know that I am the Lord, and thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Yaakov, mighty one of Jacob. Yeah, you're gonna see a rise in cannibalism. Now, a lot of this prophecy here in Isaiah 49 gets into when we're in their kingdom, but when we're in the kingdom, but the establishment of these prophecies start now. Okay, you're gonna see a rise in in um in cannibalism and then things there. Okay, now as we know, America is Babylon coming back, right? Or what was revealed when Daniel was on the scenes, Daniel 5 and 24, and it says there was then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written, which was from that beam, and it says, and this is the writing that was many tekel you for us in. This is the interpretation of the thing. Mini, the Most High have numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting. Perez, the kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and the Persians. Now, obviously, we know that's talking about the getting into the statue, but the scripture says there's no new thing under the sun. And guess what? Verses 25 and 26, the sentiments remain the same to this day. All right, to this day, that the Most High has numbered this kingdom, man, and has finished it. Okay, when you got people that's scared to run water and turn on light, you know this kingdom's finished, man. Okay, thou art weighed in the balances and found wanting. Yeah, this Edomite has been found wanting, man. Okay, all right. Now, what I want to do, since I've said that, I want to make it more clear. Yeah. Which verse is it in again? Oh man, 17 and 11. Yes. Now, Revelation 17 and 11, and it says, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7th and goeth into perdition. So, as we're talking about, the 8th, which came from the 7th, is America. Okay, America was born out of Britain, all right, and goeth into perdition. Okay, so the UK is going to get perdition and destruction, and so is America. All right, but financially, because the main thing that came up, influence and all these other things came from America, but the main thing which birthed America out of the Britain was the financial structure, the financial systems. Yeah, so therefore, who's going to feel it first? Britain. Scriptures are beautiful, man. I didn't want to keep this too long because there's so many videos brothers gotta keep up with. From the Guardian, I can't see it getting any better. Could the UK be heading for a recession? You're damn right. This is just talking about families struggling. 2020, once again, what I talked about earlier, the vicious decline. The vicious decline. Look at that drop. Peak, man. Absolutely peak. Like, things just got messed up. In April, cost of living pressures intensified. Energy bill increased by £700 a year. It's all the same talk, man. You know, Rishi Sunak, this, that. Same problems. 54% increase, 3.7 growth, all that. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I'm going through these things quickly just to show you that all his metrics show he is going down. Okay. Time for a great reset of the financial system. Ha 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 ha. Right. Do you know what? I'm not going to get in. This talks about the US more. But what I want to talk about, because we're dealing with the UK, is the UK Central Bank Digital Currency, CBDC. This is where it's all going, man. All these things are happening. Yeah. So to show and to culminate in the last major prophecy. All right. Central bank digital currency is money that a central bank like the Bank of England can produce. Is called digital or electronic because it isn't physical money like notes and coins. It is in the form of an amount on a computer or similar device. And how the hell they gonna work that? By putting a computer, a similar device, aka chip, in a U. Well, I pray not you, brothers. You know. Okay. The pandemic fueled a decline of cash. Boom. Look at this graph. Card payments, yeah. Cash payments gone down. Up by 57%, down by 19%. You can't even go into shops and pay with cash now. They're looking at you funny. And I've done that. I've actually done that. Yeah, I've done that. And people in these cashiers start looking at you funny. Coffee shops. Yeah, you got cash. Okay, for his card. They automatically set up on the card thing, and then you say, "Now I got cash." They got to delete what they put on the card machine and take your cash. It's crazy, man. You know, I ain't got to get into all. This is the main point. This graph: card payments gone up 57%, cash gone down 19%. You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going, man. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and it causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might what? Might buy or sell, say he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. There you go. There you go. So the CBD thing, That's next up, man. And they're going to post that as the great financial reset. With this, you'll be able to pay your energy bills and your water bills and all of this stuff and buy food. No, 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 no. It's the allegiance to the devil, the allegiance to Satan. Okay. And as I said earlier, all of these things are happening essentially because the Lord has his prophets out there. This is the book of Isaiah 13:2. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain and exalt the voice unto them that shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I've also called my mighty ones from mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. Okay. Jump down to verse 6. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. And that destruction has already begun through the financial decline. Okay, but it's gonna become physical. Right? Therefore shall all hands be faint, every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sore shall take hold of them. When you ain't got access to your money and your funds, trust me, people them gonna get weak out here, man. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one another, their faces shall be as flames. Okay, and after the financial decline, what's gonna happen? That's when they're gonna come for they're gonna come for the men of the Lord, persecute them, and then you're gonna have the physicalization of World War III, because we're already in it on a financial and political level, but it's gonna happen on a physical level also. Okay. I think I had a precept in Luke, but I can't find it. But it's fine. It's all good, man. So, yeah, I was aiming for an hour. I don't want to go too much longer than that because so many videos to get through. This has been a little special on the decline of the UK economy in light of the scriptures. I hope it's been edifying. And yeah, it's beautiful news, man. Because this place goes down, it's their nighttime, it's our morning, man. So for us is to stay firm, to stay strong, and pray to the Lord to increase and strengthen our faith and help us, make us of those who endure to their very end. Because as the scripture says, "See that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved." So with that, I am out. Shalom to the Arkia Mark Waf. On to the next time. Shalom.